Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper. So today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I don't do this all the time, no zombies today, but it's going to be a very off-topic video. Now, this is probably the most requested non-gaming topic I have ever had on my channel. You know, it happens all the times on comments or on streams or really just anywhere. This is the most requested, I guess, life topic video I have ever had, so I kind of figured I would sit down and make a video about it, give you all my advice and tips for that. So basically, what we're going to be talking about today is, should you ask this girl out? Like I said, I get asked this all the time, so basically, I'm just going to go ahead and give you my best advice, and for anybody who's wondering, you know, or maybe going through this, you can just come back to this video, watch it, and I guess just listen to my advice and see what I have to say. So when I do get asked this question, it typically goes somewhere along the lines of, you know, hey Chopper, there's this girl at my school or at my work, and she's really chill, she's really nice, and I really do want to be more than just friends, but I don't know exactly how to tell her, and I don't even really know if I should go for this. So whatever you could do, you know, would help me. I just need your advice. Should I even go for this or not, or should I just let it slip by? And what I would tell you for this situation, if there's a girl that you really want, you know, you really want to ask this girl, then I would tell you absolutely go for it, because there's no reason why not to. And you're thinking, well, Chopper, she could say no. That's true, she could say no, but you will never know unless you try. Like, you'll never know unless you put the effort out there. And she could say yes. You really don't know until you give it an effort. And I tell it to everybody, and everybody always comes back to me saying that, oh, maybe this girl's out of my league, you know, she doesn't even know I exist. Let's start with that. Let's start with she's out of my league. So there's like, everybody says like, this girl's out of my league, you know, she's way too pretty for me, she's way too hot, there's no way that she would even date a guy like me. And the only reason why you are thinking that, the only reason why that's in your mind in the first place is because you made it. Like, nobody else put that there. That's not like an actual thing, like you have to be X amount of hotness to date this girl, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work on a scale like that. Life is much more complicated than that. It's not like the simple X and Y output thing. It's very, very complicated, and it doesn't work like that. So the only thing, the whole thing of somebody being out of your league is all in your head. It's all just, you know, it's all just a mind trick. And as soon as you can get past that, then you can realize that you can go for any girl you want. Like, it really just comes down to that. As soon as you get past that mental barrier, like, you literally can go for any girl you want. That's what happens to a lot of people when they figure out that they're not held back to by like some degree of hotness that they perceive about themselves. Then they go for other women, you know, they go for higher caliber women, and that's what, you know, it typically comes with age. Like, as you get older, you kind of start to break down those barriers. But I know some of you guys might be younger, some about middle school or whatever, but so it probably hasn't wore off then, and then that's when you need to be taking down that barrier, thinking that you don't have to be this certain amount of hotness to be able to talk to somebody else of a certain degree amount of hotness. Does that make sense? And once you have broken down that mental perception that you can't go after this girl because she's X amount of hotness, then you can go and tackle the next step, which is making sure that she even knows you exist. So this is, luckily for us, the easiest step of all. All you really have to do, it's as simple as that. It's just introduce yourself, you know, give her your name, make a little bit of small talk, kind of chit chat here and there, maybe say what's up to her in the hallway. Just kind of make a presence in her life and make sure she knows that you exist and are there. So that's really the easy step, just making sure that you are in her life to some degree or some form or fashion. But anyway, so after you've done that, a lot of people will also make excuses and say that they're just going to wait for an opportunity to fall in their lap. Like, they're just going to wait for something to happen. They don't want to go after it, and if something falls in their lap, then they'll run with it. But until then, they're just going to chill. And honestly, you can go that route, but it's not going to happen for you. I'm telling you right now, if you wait for something to happen, if you wait for this girl to come up to you and say something and trying to start up a relationship or whatever you might want, that is not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. You can't. It's not like some movie where you're just going to chill and she's going to come up to you and actually start something. You're going to have to go after it yourself. You're going to have to take the initiative. Now, I'll tell you a little story from mine. When I was going to ask this girl to prom, this is what happened. I was sitting there, I was just sitting back for like a couple weeks, kind of thinking about, like, should I do this or not? I was pondering it for about 2 weeks. I wasn't really completely decided or not, and eventually I was like, you know what? I will just wait and see what happens. Like, if something happens, then I'll take it, but if not, I'll just chill, you know what I mean? So that was probably the worst thing I could have done, and honestly, it was getting really close to the time of prom, so I had to make it, like, I had to make a decision. I had to pull the trigger now, or this thing wasn't going to happen. And guess what? I manned up, and I did it, and guess what? I mean, I went to prom. It all worked out fine, but all I had to do was take that initial step to pull the trigger, and if I would have waited back and did nothing, then nothing would have ever happened. So you got to kind of wonder, if you never make a move, if you don't make the move, then what could have happened? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to not make the move and then wonder, I guess, a year or two from now, like, what could have been. Does that make sense? You don't want to have that regret in you that you didn't go after it, but something actually could have panned out. Something could have blossomed or flourished out of that if you just had made that one move that one day. you know what I mean? So you don't want to be filled with that. So if you are kind of on the fence about that, I would say you absolutely have to go for it. Time is the enemy here. You have to go after it as soon as possible. But then again, some people are like, well, Chopper, this girl has been in my life for 12 years. We have been best friends since we were little, and I want to be more than friends, but I don't know exactly how to tell her. I don't know if she feels the same way. I don't know if she does want to be more than just friends, and I don't want to risk the friendship. You know, I don't want to risk losing this girl as a friend if I go and actually try this. And I would tell you that this kind of situation right here can be a little sketchy, so you do have to be careful. But depending on your unique situation, there are a lot of variables and things that can shift around in it. But basically what this comes down to, the general consensus for this is that you have to weigh your risk to reward ratio. Now what this means is that you have to kind of measure out in your mind, is this worth asking her out and potentially risking the friendship? Maybe she denies me, maybe she doesn't want to be friends because she didn't feel that way at all, or maybe she did feel that way, you know, she was just kind of waiting on you to ask her out, and if you never made a move, then nothing would have ever happened. So you kind of have to measure that out for yourself. Is this worth risking my friendship with this girl for this potential relationship? So that's what you kind of have to measure out yourself. Like I said, there are variables and things that can kind of shift around and make your situation a little bit different, but that's basically what it comes down to. You just need to weigh that risk to reward ratio and find out for yourself if that's actually worth it to risk that friendship or not. Now another excuse that people are always making to me is that, you know, I don't want to get denied, I don't want to get rejected and have everybody make fun of me. Everybody's going to remember it, and you know, I'm just going to become the laughing stock of the school, whatever. And I'm going to tell you that this is not true. You may get denied, you know, this girl might reject you, but it's not the end of your life. It is not the end of the world. When you go to your 25-year high school reunion, the whole squad is not going to sit around and roast you for getting denied by this girl, like getting rejected. Nobody's even going to remember except you. It's only big of a deal as you make it. Like literally nobody else will remember this except you. If you want to make it a big deal, you know, if you want to make it public and make people know about it, then go ahead, that's your choice. But as long as you keep it private, you know, between you and her. But if she does end up rejecting you, it might hurt for a little bit, it might hurt for a couple days or weeks, but you will be fine. You will be just fine. It's not, you know, it's not life-threatening, and nobody's even going to care. The squad is not going to roast you. If you do get rejected, it's not the end of your world. You're going to be just fine, and literally what you did will have no significance in your life 10 years from now. It will have no relevance at all a little bit down the road. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're a little bit on the fence about asking a girl out or not, if you're still contemplating or pondering if you should do this or not, I think you should absolutely go for it. I say 100% absolutely yes, go for it. I know some people are still kind of maybe iffy, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I think you should, because you don't want to be filled with that regret later on in life that you could have done something, nothing ever panned out to happen, but you could have tried something, and just kind of wondering, you know, what could have been if I had actually made a move. So that's pretty much all the advice I got for you guys today. I know a lot of you guys are also experienced with this sort of stuff, so if anybody else out there has some advice that they would like to give, feel free to leave in the comment section down below, and if other people still want further advice, then just go to the comment section. I'm sure some other people can help you out. So I hope this video did help. If you guys did enjoy this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll do videos like this every so often. If you have another topic you want me to talk about, just kind of let me know in the comments. I will be reading them all. Thank you all for watching the video. Make sure you do subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.